You good? All right, so it's done its thing. It's calibrated, taking the measurement. Sometimes it'll do a head cleaning, but once you see that screen, you're good to go. So we've got two stations here. This station is set up for the Epson 6600, and this station to the right is set up for the Epson 4600. And if you ever want to know which is which, it'll say here S4600. The one down there in the same spot says S6600. It's the exact same printer. The only difference is this one is faster because it has two print heads in it. This has one print head in it. But they both use the same inks, and you could change them out. So like if it's the end of the day and you don't have time to get black and you've got most of your print coming here, you can pause the print, flip this up, pull that out, take the black out of there, put the black over there, and vice versa. So it's essentially the same machine, it's just one has a dual head. Now, if we're sending a file here, first thing I'm going to do, you got two programs. You got Flexi to set your file up, and then you got the production manager, okay? I keep shortcuts to both of them here. So I'm going to open up Flexi, and I just, for the sake of testing, I just did a couple of numbers, different colors, because I'm going to do a plot cut file instead of just print only. So I select whatever it is I'm trying to apply a contour cut to, and you can apply a contour cut directly in Flexi. You don't have to go through Adobe Illustrator. Even though you can, I think it's an extra step. I prefer just to go through Flexi. So I've got this selected. Good. And then I'm going to go to Effects, Contour Cut, and this screen right here is going to pop up where it says Contour. I want to do with holes. What with holes means, it's going to put a cut on any of the holes inside of those spaces. So the 1, 2, 3, and 5, they don't have holes technically, but the 4 has a hole right here in the middle. So I wanted to cut out the middle of that 4 and not just leave it as one solid 4. So I'm going to select with holes, but I have to confirm that is what I want. So to confirm that, I'm going to hit apply with the green check mark. Boom. And the way you know it applied is when you go to this printer, not print, you got to go to rip and print. Okay? You select that and you'll see these crop marks that appear around the numbers. That's how you know you successfully applied the cut contour. You have a send mode here in this first screen. If it's selected to any of these other two, hold in list or save to file, it will not go to print on its own. It'll go to the production manager, but it'll just sit there and you'll have to manually send the file. I'm ready to go ahead and send the file because the material is good to go. Our material is 54 inches, so I believe this is the one that will automatically, yes. So if you hit the question mark, it's going to load in whatever size the print head measured when you loaded up the material. So it's saying the maximum print width that we have from here to here is 53.76 inches. And you've got like a ton of space here. That's a representation of like the roll itself. So I like to give a couple of inches off of the bottom of the page feed. So this is what it looks like if it's 0. So that means there's no space at the bottom. I like to give it at least 4. So that means it's 4 inches off the bottom of the page feed, which you will need that for production because you'll need a little bit of extra material and bleed for running it through the plotter, the Graphtec. So we're going to go ahead and send it. Hit send and done. And then we're going to go to Production Manager. That's the only other program. And you can kind of hear the printer starting to warm up. But it pretty much ripped the file. It rips it here and then it sends it up here to print. It's doing it really fast because this is such a small file. And I like to hold all my files, which again, you won't have to worry about that because it's preset in our settings. But Whenever this is done, it stores itself down here until I manually choose to delete it. Because if we have a head strike or there's an issue with the print, the installer, has a mistake with the vinyl, I can go in here and reprint the door or reprint the hood. And I usually don't delete this stuff until the job is done and the customer has picked up and paid for it. So this is on its way to the printer now. You can hear it. It's just about done. So if you come over here, you can see it printing. So it's printing the crop marks along with the numbers.